Once upon a time, in a busy little town surrounded by hills and river roads, there lived a man named William Carter, a hard-working merchant who made his living selling spices. His shop was small but filled with the fragrance of cardamom, cinnamon, and hope. Every morning, William opened his store before sunrise and worked till dusk, dreaming of growing his business and giving his family a better life. He had two sons, John the elder and Ryan the younger. Ryan was everything people admired: confident, charming, quick to speak, and fearless in front of anyone. But John was the opposite. John was quiet, shy, and hesitant, the kind of person who avoids eye contact, whose words get stuck halfway out of his mouth. He wasn't weak, just unsure of himself. But in a world that only respects loud voices, silence is often mistaken for stupidity. The townspeople would whisper, "William's elder son, he's such a fool. Can't even talk properly." Some would even cheat him, knowing he'd never argue back. William loved both his sons, but his patience with John often ran thin. "Why can't you be more like Ryan?" he'd shout. "How will you ever handle this business if you can't even speak to people properly?" Each word from his father cut deeper into John's confidence. The more he was scolded, the smaller he became inside. When exams came, fear paralyzed him. His hands would tremble, his mind would go blank, and even the answers he knew would vanish from his memory. Years passed. John grew into a young man, but his shyness grew with him. One day his father said, "John, it's time you start helping at the shop." John nodded quietly. He wanted to make his father proud, but fear shadowed every step. Whenever a customer came, he'd speak in a low voice. He'd make mistakes, miscount money, or forget orders. And every time, his father's frustration deepened. Then came the day that broke everything. William had gone to another town to buy new spice stock. While he was away, three cunning men arrived at the shop. They smiled and said, "Your father sent us to collect all the spice sacks. We're taking them to the city market." John hesitated. Something inside told him this felt wrong, but his fear of speaking up was stronger than his doubt. He just nodded. By evening, every bag of spice was gone. When William returned and saw the empty shop, his face turned pale with rage. "You fool!" he shouted. "You let them steal everything I worked for. You've destroyed me." John tried to explain, but his voice broke. "Enough!" William roared. "Get out of my sight. You're no son of mine." That night, John wandered aimlessly through the dark streets, crushed, humiliated, and hollow inside. The laughter of townspeople echoed in his head. The merchant's son got robbed by words. When he reached the riverbank, he stared at the water and whispered, "There's no point in living anymore. I fail at everything. Maybe it's better if I disappear." Just as he stepped forward, a hand grabbed his shoulder and pulled him back. It was a young man dressed in simple robes, a disciple traveling on his way to the mountains. "Why are you trying to throw your life away?" the disciple asked gently. John's voice cracked. "Because I'm useless. I can't speak right, can't think right, can't do anything right. My father hates me. The world laughs at me. What's the point of living like this?" The disciple looked at him calmly and said, "As long as you're alive, you can change your story. But if you give up now, you'll never know what you were capable of becoming." John lowered his head. "I've tried. Nothing works." The disciple smiled softly. "Then come with me. My teacher can help you, if you have the courage to listen." Reluctantly, John followed him. After a long walk, they reached a peaceful ashram near the edge of the forest. Under a large banyan tree sat a wise old man, Master Samuel, his eyes closed in deep meditation. When John saw him, all the pain inside poured out. He fell to his knees and cried, "Master, I am broken. If you cannot help me, I will end my life." Master Samuel opened his eyes and said gently, "Tell me everything." John shared his story, his failures, his father's anger, his fear, his shame. When he finished, there was silence. Then the master spoke. "I can help you, but you must obey my words for 3 days. If you complete what I ask, your life will never be the same." Desperate for hope, John agreed. Day 1. "Go," said the master, "and speak to 10 strangers. Ask about their lives. Listen and write down what they tell you. John froze. 10 strangers? I can't even talk to one. Try, said the master. Do not think. Just act. So trembling, John went to the marketplace. Some ignored him. Some mocked him. But he kept trying. By evening, he had spoken to 10 people. 10 conversations. 10 small victories. When he returned, he felt something strange. A spark of pride. Day 2, the master said, "Today, teach 10 children about the importance of water." John panicked. "Teach? I'm not educated enough." The master smiled. "Those children don't know that. Just speak from what you know." That afternoon, John stood before a group of kids. His voice shook. His palms sweated. But he began. He spoke about rivers, rain, and how water gives life. The children listened. Some even smiled. When he finished, he realized his fear was shrinking. The master nodded. "You see, courage grows when you act, not when you wait." Day 3. The master said, "Now go to your father. Ask for his forgiveness." John's heart raced. "No, I can't. He'll never forgive me." "If you run from what scares you, fear will own you forever," the master said firmly. That evening, John walked to his home. His father sat outside the shop, older, tired, still angry. John bowed and said, "Father, I was foolish. I'm sorry. But give me one chance. I will prove myself to you." William looked at his son. For the first time, he saw something new. Strength in his eyes. He sighed. "All right, John. One last chance." Days turned to months. John worked hard, spoke confidently to customers, and managed the shop wisely. Slowly, business grew again, even better than before. When he returned to Master Samuel, John asked, "Master, what was the secret?" The old man smiled. "The secret is what you've already discovered. Your enemy was never your shyness. It was your fear. People see you as you present yourself. Act with confidence, and they'll believe you are strong. Strength doesn't come from others' approval. It grows from within." Tears filled John's eyes. "Thank you, Master. I will never let fear control me again." Years later, the shy boy who once couldn't speak became one of the town's most respected spice merchants. John Carter, the merchant of courage. He built not just a business, but a legacy, proving that confidence is not something we are born with. It's something we build. Even the quietest voice can shake the world when it dares to speak without fear. Remember, your limits exist only in your mind. Shyness is not weakness. It's a habit you can unlearn. And fear? Fear disappears the moment you step forward anyway. If you dare to face your fear for just 3 days, you won't just change your confidence, you'll change your entire life.